After the last generation of consoles, it felt like Xbox maybe caught its breath and was just biding its time to see when was the next time that they were just gonna drop the mic. And it feels like this year was it. I'm not a person that really kind of gets into the narrative of like who wins E3 or what console is better. I play on PC, so I don't care too much, but it's still fun to kind of go along with it. And yeah, this showcase made me feel happy. It was 27 games. It was 27 games, I counted. I might be missing one. Okay, now I'm doubting myself. I think it was 28 games. And then the 29th thing was the mini fridge. A few games that they showed I was looking forward to seeing, that I wanted to see more of. A few that were just brand new, so there's no way I could have known, and it was nice to see that. And then two notable ones that weren't there that I wish there was something to show. Understandable that there's not, but they're working on the games, that's fine. But still, it would have been nice to see them. I'm talking about Avowed and Fable, two fantasy games that were announced last year, I think, and were notably, for me, missing from the show. But they started off with one that I did want to see, Starfield. I wanted to see something. I just wanted a release date even. I made that statement to myself, counting on the days to E3 as it was coming up. If they just gave me a release date, I think I could be happy with that. November next year. That and a nice little cinematic teaser trailer that looks like it's in-game footage, but it didn't really show us anything. It actually kind of reminded me of the beginning cinematic to Destiny 1, where you see those astronauts find the Traveler on Mars or wherever it was, I don't remember, but that's what it reminded me of. Something I thought was interesting about it was that it looked remarkably less far sci-fi than I thought it would look. I thought it would be as sci-fi as Elder Scrolls is fantasy, which is to say like hard, you know, kind of Mass Effect looking aesthetic, but it's not. That's fine. Looks a little bit more grounded, actually. I'm just curious to see more. Then came Stalker 2, which I played Metro Exodus, and it just looks like kind of more of that. I didn't know there was a Stalker 1, so I don't really know what to look for. It looks cool. Yeah, we're going to blitz this. Let's go through it, because there were like 28, 29 of them or something. Back for Blood. I've been missing this. I've been missing a Left 4 Dead kind of vibe of a game, and this looks exactly it, made by the creators of Left 4 Dead. God, it looks like a good time. I've missed this. I've missed that. Cinematic trailer for Contraband. Don't know what it is. Sea of Thieves is still alive, apparently. It always looked like a cool game that I might get into, but I just never did. They're adding Pirates of the Caribbean into it. Caribbean. Jack Sparrow's in the game now. Battlefield 2042. That one is one that I was looking forward to a lot. I've been waiting for Battlefield 6. This is Battlefield 6. It looks cool. Just the scale of it by itself. The weather effects. The grappling hook. I'm a sucker for grappling hooks. I'm not sure how it's going to work. It probably won't be like everybody zipping around, but it is there, and I do like it. It just looks really cool, and it looks like it's going to be bigger than ever with 128 players, I think they said, that are going to be in each match, or at least like the bigger matches, and that's going to be really, really fun to be a part of. 12 minutes, that's been an interesting thing to look at. I remember seeing it, I think it was 2 years ago, like a time loop game, almost like a bite-sized version of Groundhog's Day. I think it was a new announcement this time of who's voicing the characters in that game. James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and Willem Dafoe. That looks fun. It's actually not Willem Dafoe's first foray into video games. I think he was a voice in something else. I forgot what it was, though. I forgot what it was. It was the same studio that made Heavy Rain. I think Detroit Become Human. I think those were the same guys. Can't remember, but the Beyond Good and... No, not that. Psychonauts 2, never played Psychonauts 1. Looks fun. More Fallout 76. I don't care. They're adding the pit to it this time. There's a whole new storyline that's going to happen. They're not giving up on that game. They really aren't. They just... I suppose that's admirable to some extent, but there are people that like it. A game called Party Animals, which looks like Gang Beasts, but just straight up animals. I don't know. It looks fun. That one looks like just a stupid time that I can have with my friends with. More Hades stuff. I believe it was just that it was getting a physical release on the Xbox, but I'm not sure what else was new about that. I don't think that there was a DLC for it. I have to go back and check. Then they showed off a really interesting game called Somerville. I don't know how it's pronounced, but I believe it's the same guys that made Inside and Limbo, and it kind of looks like a mixture of Inside mixed with War of the Worlds. That's a fun combo. Halo Infinite. Of course they were going to show Halo. They had it like on the loading, like you're waiting for the premiere screen. I was actually kind of curious while I was waiting for it to start why it looked like it was Halo Reach characters, like Noble Team, that was on the cover for it. It turns out that's the multiplayer. The multiplayer, Halo Infinite and Halo Infinite's multiplayer are kind of like two separate entities at this point. And the multiplayer's cover has the armor permutations of Noble Team. Something I noticed, it doesn't really matter, but multiplayer looks really cool. You got the grappling hook in, God, grappling hooks. I just like them in any game that they're in. I like grappling hooks. It's gonna be free at launch. Anybody can just play Halo Infinite's multiplayer. And then they showed like a little fun cinematic of Master Chief flying through space, grabbing onto things using his grappling hook, and talking to, I'm pretty sure is what is a new AI character. I didn't catch her name. I thought it was Cortana because I was kind of half looking. I had it going on while I was working on a separate monitor. Thought it was Cortana, but then I got a closer look at her and was like, oh, she's wearing too much clothes to be Cortana. Cortana doesn't really wear clothes, oddly enough. All the other AI do, not Cortana. And it sounded like I forgot the name of the voice actor, but her but younger. And I don't know if it's her but just doing her voice younger, or if it's a new voice actress that is very clearly inspired by Cortana. Anyway, I don't think that it revealed, if I'm trying to remember, I don't think it revealed anything that was kind of illuminating about the story. I don't think there really needs to be. Everyone's going to show up. It's a Halo game. Anyway, oh, by the way, all these are going to be on the Xbox Game Pass. Everything that they showed, it was, Phil Spencer said 27 out of the 30. Next one is A Plague Tale 2. This is something, I haven't played A Plague Tale 1, but I was happy to see that it got a sequel. It's always, you know, I like video games in general, so like whenever I see one that was new and kind of unexpected and seemed kind of like a hidden gem, when I see that succeed and get a sequel, I'm happy. I'm always happy when something new gets to continue on. Far Cry 6 stuff, though I think they already showed Far Cry 6 in the Ubisoft showcase. So, well, I think the Ubisoft one was just a cutscene. This one was just a bunch of crazy gameplay, kind of showing what we actually expect the gameplay loop of Far Cry to be, which is just chaos, absolute stupid chaos. Slime Rancher 2, sure, again, good to see it. Shredder's a snowboarding game. I haven't seen, I used to love SSX a lot back in the day. Man, I just really loved how silly that was. This doesn't look kind of like that off the rails crazy, but it just looks clean. It just looks nice. It just looks like a simple, good time. Snowboarding games, man, they're a staple. The next one I thought looked really interesting, Atomic Heart. That kind of, I don't even know what that looks like other than just kind of a weird, you know what it is? You know how like Fallout has the very 1950s Americana aesthetic vibe that it has going on? This one was Eurovision. It kind of had like some Europop song going on in the background, which did a lot for the trailer, I think. It looks very jumpy, it looked very fun. And then this side-scroller game that came out of nowhere. And I'm talking like this thing looks good. Like the style, the absolute style of this game placed. Look out for that one. That looks like it's going along a little bit, like it's kind of chilling. You're kind of taking everything in, just the visuals, which look stunning by itself. And then there's a drop, and then you see the combat, and it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have some. They showed more stuff from Grounded, which looks like a fun game. I think the funniest thing about it is the arachnophobia slider. An RPG that looks really cool. I don't know how to pronounce it. What is it? Eiyuden Chronicles. 100 Heroes. Eiyuden? Look at the trailer for it, the combat it looks stunning. Like, I love how they're doing that very Age of Empires 4. I'm gonna make a really generic statement right now. I think Age of Empires 2 is pretty good. I actually skipped going to homecoming. I think it was freshman year of high school. Pretty sure it was freshman year. I didn't go, and instead I just played Age of Empires 2 at home while my friends were at homecoming. Time well spent. Outer Worlds 2, haven't played Outer Worlds 1, but I probably should, because I like Fallout, and I know that Outer Worlds is basically Fallout, but probably better from what I've seen. You tell me. Outer Worlds 2 was basically just making fun of itself and every other teaser trailer of all time, of just how they put these things out there to just let you know that it's a game that will exist at some point, but there's nothing to show. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Man, I never thought that I would even think about playing a simulator game of some type. But the more I look at it, the more I just kind of want to fly in a different part of the world, man. It's starting to pull at me, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to keep myself away. And then the last big one that they showed was, of course, Forza Horizon 5. That looks good. Again, yeah. Same thing with Metro. I have this thing where I'll just like play one of a series and then not touch the rest of it. Forza Horizon was one of those. I played Forza Horizon 2, no. Whichever one takes place in Italy or France, whichever one that one is, I think it's 2. But in any case, I really liked playing that game. Didn't pick up the rest. But then you look at it and it looks spectacular. This one's set in Mexico, so you get to see like all the beautiful looking towns, beaches, the desert, so much off-road, a map, track, editor of some sort, and where you can get really silly with it. I gotta get Game Pass, because as soon as I get Game Pass, my barrier to entry for like pretty much all these things is gonna go right out the window. I'm gonna be able to play all of them because I'm already paying, what, $10, whatever it is, I think $15 a month. They're really pushing it, and it's a good value. They did show one more thing. It wasn't as big to me as Forza Horizon 5, but a new IP nonetheless, made by the guys who made Dishonored and I think Prey as well. Yeah, they're making looks to be like a vampire game, Redfall. Vampire, but with like the attitude and vibe of Wolfenstein meets XCOM. I don't know what the game is going to look like in terms of gameplay, because it was just a cinematic. So I don't even think it is going to be like an XCOM tactics game. I think it's mostly just going to be a shooter by the looks of it. But that looks cool. And then the very last thing, an Xbox mini fridge. That's classy. That really is. Anyway, as of this time, the next big one that I'm looking forward to is Nintendo. I really want to see what their Nintendo Direct is going to be like this year. I'll probably do a video for that one too, because I just like talking about this stuff, whether somebody watches this or not. If you did make it to the end, yeah, sure, subscribe if you like. I'm kind of just doing this for fun, so I don't expect anything to really come of this. I would like to get better at this over time. I've heard you need to make like 50 to 100 videos before you start getting good at this. So yeah, hopefully in the next year or so, I can kind of slowly knock out my 50 to 100 videos of mediocrity, and then maybe I can actually start putting out content of value. Anyway, guys, have a good one.